This week, Dolly's on the show. Get a glimpse into her world with one very exciting sit-down interview.
Plus, we chat with the newest member of the Grand Ole Opry, T. Graham Brown, from right here at CRS.
Then, almost 90 and still recording music, Pat Boone joins us to talk about his latest project. And later, the latest exhibit you can check out at the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Hey, it's Dolly, and you are watching Nashville Insider.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Nashville Insider. I'm Casey Mason, and as you heard in that intro, we've got a jam-packed show for you today. And jam-packed shows is something the Grand Ole Opry knows a thing or two about. The Opry House just celebrated their 50th anniversary on March 16th. Now, this is the anniversary of the show's current home. The Opry itself was founded in 1925, and the first show at the venue 50 years ago was attended by President Nixon and his wife. Bill Anderson, Connie Smith, and G.D. Seeley all performed on the stage both 50 years ago and now. So cool to see. And someone who is no stranger to the Opry stage is Dolly. Nashville Insider's Jacqueline Stapp got to sit down with the icon who told us about her best friend.
I want to take it back just a little bit. You've had decades of a phenomenal career. There's been a lot of important people in this journey with you that have supported you and stood by you. And one in particular, I'd like to know a little bit more of your relationship with Judy Ogle.
Oh, Judy Ogle is my best friend, still is to this day. We've been best friends since we were in the 3rd grade. She grew up very hard, just like I did. And so we got to kind of, she's very quiet and shy, and I was more outgoing. So we just kind of bonded. We were like kind of the opposite, sides of each other. But Judy and I became friends, went all through high school, took all the same classes together, and then when we graduated, she went off to the service for a couple of years, and then I went to Nashville, and we'd always made that pact, that when I get to go, and you're going to have to come. And so she came down to work with me, and from my early days in Nashville, we've worked together ever since. She's the one that saved all my archives, all the stuff I have from my museum, and she packed my clothes and traveled with me. She was a great companion, to have a good friend to travel with.
And then, of course, Uncle Bill played a huge, significant role in your life.
Yes.
What do you think he would be saying to you today?
Well, I wrote a song. I'm writing a Broadway musical, and one of the theme songs is to different people that's helped me, and especially my Uncle Bill, because my Uncle Bill passed away recently, and I was making a speech, and the words just came out like, and when I was looking at him, and I said, I wouldn't be here if you hadn't been there. And so I wrote a song called I Wouldn't Be Here If You Hadn't Been There. But my Uncle Bill saw early on how serious I was. He's one of my mom's younger brothers, and he also played guitar and wrote. Aww. So he saw that I had the gift, or he believed I did. And so he would take me around all these places and back and forth to Nashville in the early days. And so we were always very close, and we stayed close until he passed away.
Well, God bless his spirit. I know he's looking down today. The young Dolly from the Smoky Mountains, this young, shy, bashful girl, how did that experience and that upbringing, those humble beginnings, shape you today as this mega star?
Well, I think there's so much more than I probably even know, because I know my faith came from my early days. My grandpa was a preacher, and we lived way back in the mountains, so even going to church was not only supposed to be beneficial, but it's also a form of entertainment, because we got to sing in the church, and my grandpa was a musician. He played the piano, and so I used to go to the church. But I think I relate to everybody being brought up having no money, no material things.
Kids.
But we had, there was a bunch of us kids. Mom and Daddy worked really hard to make sure that we had food on our table. And we had a bed to sleep in, and, we always had enough. And, of course, you want more things than you have, but Looking back, I'm just so happy. The only thing I regret about my childhood is Mom and Daddy having to work so hard, but they never complained. And it's shaped me in every way that I am, from just the humble beginnings, the love of good parents, the hard work ethic, the creativity, the spirituality. It's all interwoven in that whole thing. I still am that very same little girl inside my heart. I still have dreams, and I still hold on to her.
What an amazing chat. Thanks so much, Jacqueline. And thank you, Dolly. All right, up next, it's the first of our extensive coverage of our country radio seminar. Nashville Insider's Adam Wurtzel got to chat with some new faces and some of your favorites, starting with Runaway June.
Natalie, Stevie, Jennifer, Runaway June, nice to see you.
Great to see you.
How have you been?
We've just been great and busy. We've just been traveling a ton, playing shows, and writing songs. So trying to stay sane is what it is.
Country radio seminar. How important is an event like this to you?
Oh, it's real cool. I get to talk to guys like you.
Like,
Yeah, man, it's neat talking to all the different media people. It's just nice it's nice that somebody actually wants to talk to me. It makes me feel good.
I've said for a long time that nobody sounds like Annie Basco. Nobody sounds like you.
Thank you.
When did you discover that this was what you wanted to do for a living?
It chose me. My mom said that I was singing in the crib. I'm one of 5 kids, and she said, you were so vocal. No other kid was, you were literally like making noises, singing in your crib as a baby. And I sang in front of an audience for the first time when I was 5 at my great-grandmother's funeral. I sang Over the Rainbow. And then I think I'm so interconnected with it. It was like there was never any other option. You know, I would work crazy odd jobs, like from cleaning houses to working at restaurants, singing demos, everything, right, to pursue the dream. But I always knew, like, that's what I have to do, you know. And I think, to be honest, it's probably why I'm still doing it. I think most people, I've been here 17 years pursuing this, probably would have quit by now if they didn't really love, like, just gotta be a little crazy in the head, and you gotta like really love what you do, you know. And I really love making music.
Country radio seminar. It's a very busy week for you. For the people that don't know, what is CRS?
Man, for me, it's a fun week. I'll tell you what, I've been doing it for a long time. I guess that I started my first CRS about 2019. And, but yeah, man, you get to talk to a bunch of great people. It's a great way for me to get my music out there, promote old songs and promote new songs. So it's just a good week, man. I'm glad it's still going on.
How does that Latina flair translate into your music?
Yeah, so, you know, country music has always had such a love affair with the Hispanic, the Latino, the Mexicano culture. And for me to be able to embrace both sides of who I am, being a cowgirl and then also being Mexicana, bringing those two worlds together that have danced for a very long time, and being able to marry them is how it's influencing and really creating this new lane and this new sound that I'm really proud to represent.
We can't have you on our show without talking about The Voice. You got husband and wife chair turns from Blake and Gwen. What's it like stepping on that stage and seeing the back of those chairs, knowing these 4 music icons are sitting right there?
Yeah, man, it was like, I'm not saying this because I'm a big tough guy, but like, I don't really get nervous before I perform. Something about being on that show and in the spotlight and you're looking at the back of the head of Gwen Stefani, I'm just like, okay, I'm nervous.
To me, this is the best Runaway June that there has ever been. When you were learning the songs, was it difficult to say, like, I'm going to put my own spin on something like Buy My Own Drink?
That's a great question. And yes, it was initially. It's like when I came in, it was almost like take the songs for what they are and fill that space. But the more time went on, it's like the more the girls and I wrote together, we found a sound that really is like what the new Runaway June is. And we're so excited about it and where it could go. So it feels like it's our own thing. It really does. And it's exciting.
I'm Adam Wurtzel. You know these guys, the legendary Shenandoah. They're here to talk about their new collaboration with Luke Combs here at CRS. What's that mean? You're going to have to stay tuned to find out.
Well, our next guest is in rarefied air. In the 50s, he had 41 chart hits. Elvis, only 40. Pat Boone talks with us next.
Welcome back to Nashville Insider. I'm Casey Mason. Well, his first album came out in 1956, and 68 years later, he's not done yet. Alex Apple got the rare opportunity to chat with Pat Boone.
Well, it's really my privilege and honor today to be joined by someone who has had the rare ability to not only attain success, but sustain it for so long. Pat Boone is my guest, because it really is one thing to attain success. It's a whole nother thing to keep it going. And what do you think has been the secret to that for you?
Well, I'm going to give you the simple truth. One is an incredible, insatiable curiosity and eclecticism. I like most everything that's good, and I'm tempted to try so many things, but also I tell young people who've asked me hundreds and hundreds of times over the years, how can I hit it like you did and be successful like you? And I say, I'll give you the real clue. Make God your agent.
Could you have foreseen, though, that level of success?
I could never have dreamed I was going to be a teacher preacher. Suddenly I was a teen idol overnight.
Yeah.
And just kept going and going. And all I did was, as every door opened to the first television musical variety show that a guy 21 years old ever had, and all the big stars were coming on my show and singing with me. Ella Fitzgerald, Sammy Davis, Perry Como.
Names have changed. Now it's the Gatlin brothers and Ray Stevens and the group. But how did you assemble that team to put together this record, or how did that conversation come about?
Well, a great producer there in Nashville, Jimmy Nichols, has recorded and produced so many great hits. He's a tremendous pianist. He can play any instrument, Jimmy Nichols. And he called the group together as soon as he mentioned the song, Grits, country favorite Grits, Cracker Barrel, and all of that.
Yeah.
That almost everybody he contacted said, sure, when you do it, I'll show up. And they did. And so they all came together with some terrific Nashville musicians.
For a man that's released 2,300 songs, if there was one song that the average person that listens to you on Spotify or is your friend probably doesn't know well, or has maybe only heard once or not at all, that you released, what would you want them to go listen to? What would you say is a hidden gem in your collection?
A song I did, only song I ever recorded about my wife and to my wife, was called Here's to My Lady, with a Gordon Jenkins arrangement, which too few people know about it because it was in an album. But it makes me cry every time I hear it. But then I also wrote a song called Jesus is Lord. The Bible says the time is coming when every knee will bow and every tongue confess that Jesus is Lord. And I wrote a song that captures that, because I knew that the words to that song were words that every human being who's ever lived is going to either sing or say.
Yeah.
And a beautiful melody, and it brings tears to my eyes just thinking about it.
Well, Pat, thank you so much for your time today. It's been my honor. And go listen to Jesus is Lord. I'm certainly going to listen to it. And I'm also going to find the only one that you wrote and recorded for your wife, too. What a touching
Yes.
person.
Oh, boy. You'll bring a Kleenex. It's beautiful.
Great interview, and now we move on to a great new exhibit at the Country Music Hall of Fame. The latest installment of American Currents State of the Music is now open. The exhibit takes a broad view of the genre over the past year to explore musical developments, artist achievements, and notable events. Kelsey Ballerini, Luke Combs, and Jelly Roll are just a few of the many artists being featured. American Currents runs through February 2025, so there's lots of time to go check it out.
My name is Adam Hortzel. This would be Chase Matthew. You don't want to go anywhere. Coming up next, we're going to talk about a very big year for this Warner Music Nashville artist. That's coming up. You're watching Nashville Insider.
Hi, I'm Katie Cook. You're watching ACN, American Country Network.
Welcome back to Nashville Insider. All right, now it's time to take you back to CRS, where we find Adam Hortzel with two country stars who need no introduction.
I always love talking to you guys because you make it easy, because I ask one question and then we just have a fun conversation. Marty and Mike from Shenandoah join us now. Nice to see you both.
Man, hey, it's good to see you too, Adam. It always is, man. It's always good to see you.
Here at CRS Country Radio Seminar, you guys, let's face it, you don't need to be here. Everybody knows who you are. You're super, super well known. You've had so many #1 hits. You love coming back and doing these interviews, and it means so much to us.
Well, we've become friends with a lot. I mean, like yourself, how many years in a row have we done?
I mean, this must be like 6 or 7.
We see, a lot of times we see the same people, but it's like seeing an old friend. And that's one of the reasons we enjoy coming out here. You get to see not guys like you, but I mean, a lot of artists, that we hadn't seen in a long time. We get to see walking around and rub elbows with, trying to pitch them a song. It's fun, man. We enjoy it.
Do you guys remember the first song you ever played together?
Oh my gosh. Love this question. It's a mixed feeling because mixed one. I first started playing drums to AC/DC's Back in Black, of course, and then Natalia wanted to play Taylor Swift, You Belong With, especially back then. Oh my gosh, heard that first album. But I think the very first song we ever played together was actually some Leonard Skinner Simple Man.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And now you have just exploded. How does it feel?
Man, it feels good. I feel like there's stepping stones for you. Some people take the elevator, some people take the staircase, and I don't want to skip any steps, and I've just kind of taken my time and, trying to find what I feel is the most genuine and what represents Chase Matthew and his fans the best. And man, it feels good. We're on a roll. Going to Jason Aldean, got a 6-song EP that just dropped, and got a song that everybody's loving. It's called Darling. And man, just so many cool things. I'm sure you know a lot of it too, but we're at CRS, right now. So that's even more wild. We got a song top 30 at country radio.
You have had quite the career at such an early age. One of my favorite sitcoms, Last Man Standing, played Boyd Baxter.
Yes, sir.
On the show. What kind of rush is it like to perform with Tim Allen in front of a live audience?
Stressful. That's what I'll say. That is terrifying. And I don't usually get stressed nowadays when I perform or when I act in front of people because it's what I've done my whole life. But when you're in a studio in front of a live audience on a hot set with somebody you've grown up just wishing to work with. I mean, Buzz Lightyear is my childhood, and I'm working with Buzz Lightyear.
You have a song that is so new, Break It Like a Man, so new that I haven't heard it yet.
Oh my gosh, exactly. Maybe I can do a little, have my team send you a little sneak peek, so April 12th, Break It Like a Man comes out. I'm very excited. I kind of got to play co-director for the music video and kind of play a lot of my creative aspects that I don't normally get to use all the time with my acting side, my directing side, and even within the music itself, kind of played a little co-production in there as well. And I'm just really excited for it to be out. It shows a little bit more edge, a little bit more grit within the song. Something catches on fire at the end of the video. I play the other woman. It's a whole assortment of things. So very excited.
After the break, we've got one more round of CRS interviews. Heartland, Ben Gallagher, Ashley Ryan, and more are on Nashville Insider when we come back. We're back on Nashville Insider. I'm Casey Mason. Well, we've got one more trip to the 2024 Country Radio Seminar right now. Adam Wartzel is now joined by a band back together after many, many years.
Heartland joining us now from CRS on Nashville Insider. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us, man.
It's really, I always say nice to see you, but it is really nice to see you. Heartland is back. How does it feel?
It feels fantastic. We're super stoked, and we're just happy to be here. We really are. Thank you.
An amazing new single called No Tomorrow. I'm going to ask the new guy if it's okay. Tell us, Lance. Tell us about No Tomorrow.
No Tomorrow, basically just like it says, it's a song about, living life in the moment, because you never know when it's going to end, and who can't relate to that? And it's a good song. We heard it. First time we heard it, we were like, man, we got to cut that, and the rest is history.
Your song is called Bad For You.
Yes.
Okay, which is your single. Such a good song. So for me, it would be pizza. What do you like?
What's bad for you? Pizza. Oh my gosh. What's bad for me that I like? I think I like good things. I don't know. I'll agree with the pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, Texas Roadhouse rolls.
Oh, with the cinnamon butter?
1,000%. That's terrible for me, but I'll eat a whole basket to myself. Yes, you brought up food and I instantly, Texas Roadhouse rules.
Let's talk about where we are. This is CRS, Country Radio Seminar. This is a very important event. Tell us why.
Yeah, it's been going on for a long time where artists can come and visit with folks like yourself and all the radio stations that send representatives and do interviews and liners and catch up and let everybody know what you've been up to. And it's just a great event.
I want to read you the lyrics. So the first lyrics on your album, Country in the House, title track, Daddy loved Haggard, Mama loved Jones. Who'd you love?
Ooh, that's a good question too. Mama.
Thanks, man.
I grew up on 90s country.
Yeah, hard to name one, man.
Brooks and Dunn, Toby Keith, Joe Diffie, Tracy Lawrence, Black Hawk. I'm a student of country music, and so that 90s stuff, so I can't pick just one.
Tell us about what's coming up next for you. Are you on the road?
Yeah, I actually can't say right now. Some fun stuff lined up. Yeah. I'm excited.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm excited in the business. We call that like the ultimate tease. Like I can't say, but it's going to be fun.
Yes.
So you're going to have to stay tuned. And by the way, Mom is right there. You want to come be on the show? No, she says no, but she trusts us. She's right there. Tell us in your own words, what is CRS?
Oh my goodness. What is CRS? It's funny because I told my friends I was going to be here this week and they're like, what? But it's all of radio, it's labels, it's artists, it's the country music industry is all in one spot for some parts of the week. And it's a really fun time and you don't get like much sleep, but it's worth it.
Paint us the picture of the first time the four of you got together or just started playing. Was it just like an instant jam session?
Yeah, I kind of had called Todd and Mike up, and I said, "All right, boys, let's jam, let's get together." And we got with Lance, and it's like riding a bike. Like it really is. Like we've played together so long, and toured everywhere, and we just started jamming, and the new songs we started getting into the studio. And it's getting time to get back out and play live and do what we do, you know.
Thanks, Adam, for those 17 fantastic interviews. And of course, thank you to the artists and their teams. Well, that about does it for us today here on Nashville Insider. We leave you today just like how we started, with Dolly. Here's Zach Williams' brand new video featuring Dolly Parton, Looking for You, and we'll be looking for you right here next time. I'm Casey Mason. We'll see you then.
Down 100 highways, of empty pursuit.